Niko.
Okay, hi, welcome back to, what's it called? Niko Through the Dream. And you might not guess it, but this is post-commentary, so it's gonna be a little bit different than what you are used to, which is live commentary. The thing that I'm, if not good, then at least experienced at. I have about 23 minutes of footage that I need to record a nice voiceover over. The rest of the game session I realized that or that I didn't record the microphone at all, and so that's gonna be live commentary again, but I will of course mention that switch over. However, let's jump into what is happening here. We have the little face dude who's back with the glowy eyes. Hi, hello. You are not weird at all. This is all very normal. Being suspended in a bird cage with two glowy bits. Goodness. Wow. Alright. So at least he bent it for us, and then he goes like, "Hey, baby, won't you come with me?" And the trusting woman that Niko is, of course, she jumps on top of the hand that tried to kill her just episodes ago. Oh God, don't touch me. Stop it with the touching, creepy guy. Oh boy. Alright. So far, this game has been very interesting, quite weird. I mean, just look at it. It's obvious that it's weird. 3 just hanging bird cages from nothing. Some cubes pulsing weirdly. And here I'm trying to figure out what the hell this does, if I can interact with it, if I can click on it. And then I guess I decide to just screw it. There's little bits that I can shimmy around and bring with me. So I go to the very obvious puzzle. Actually, this is super obvious. It's really easy to figure out. The sad thing is, as you will see very soon, this is all to get to the teddy that you can see there in the background. So this has no significance on the actual progression of the game, but it's a neat little puzzle. And if you've seen my Motica Let's Play, there's been a not quite the same, but a similar themed puzzle of having to balance out volumes of water in different containers. And I think it's a really neat mechanic, but it's not used at all anymore now. It's just been this little thing to get Teddy, and now they drop it, and it's not gonna come back probably. I haven't finished the game, but in this and the next 2 levels, it doesn't seem to come back at all. So they do a great job of introducing it, but I think what they could do is just go ahead and bring it back in a different manner, maybe a bit more difficult, a bit varied. That would have been cool. But let's now devote ourselves again to the action on screen. So we see this labyrinth looking thing with a teleportation egg on it, and it's pretty clear that what we're gonna do is explore it. And there's a couple of ways. You've seen that. Yeah, that little cube that just turned red. And from there on, I think it's pretty obvious what you have to do. You have to collect these cubes, make them all red. Yeah, there have been a couple of other ones in the shot now, and it's really not that difficult. So here I'm trying to figure out like a route through this place. Maybe there's hidden jump physics. You know, you never know. You gotta try these things. You cannot be certain. And it's just an exploration thing. There's not much behind it. I check if there is some sort of logic here behind it. Get a better look, get a lay of the land, if you will. And then I figure out how to do the next one. And my logic here is, for me to not miss anything, I'll try to do this level by level. So bottom level first. See here, I got another 2 cubes really quick. And only if I explored all the stuff that I can, I take the stairs. And move on. And then as quickly as possible, drop down again. I said drop down again, thank you. That's right. I remember how I played this game. Another thing, which is kind of sad about this game. Maybe not another thing. One thing that is kind of sad about this game is how it's kind of buggy. During this recording session, and the first one actually, it's nice how that worked out. I had I think 5 parts each to record. Sometimes, you know, because I had to figure out stuff that wasn't obvious from the very beginning. That's partially my fault. In this game session, I think there are a few parts that are really just not well designed. So you know, it's hard to figure out what the puzzle is. I mean, here it was clear from the get-go. Okay, you get that. It's not terribly interesting, but you know, you get a feel for what you have to do real fast. It's not hard to figure out what to do. It's still a challenge, maybe a little bit, to do it, and that's fine. But figuring out what to do there should be clues from the environment, and this is provided here. It's not everywhere. We'll see that later in this game session. But yeah, I had to do it in 5 parts, and between some of them I tapped out quickly, you know, to just look at the recording if it worked, which is when I figured out that I didn't record the mic. Thank God for that, actually. But then, you know, when you tab out and tab back in, the game sometimes crashes, sometimes it doesn't. The menu that I've used in the 2nd or 3rd episode, maybe, when I wanted to look if there's a field of view slider, there's not, by the way. Which is okay. I mean, doesn't need to be. It would have been nicer if it had one, but it's not necessary. But the menu has these 3 round buttons with symbols on them that mean nothing to any human. There are a couple of symbols that mean stuff to humans. You know that IO or the 1-0 power button thing, or the play button, pause button, or skip next song. Those things are universally recognizable. But the things this game uses as its menu, that's just, it's not good. It's terrible menu design. I'm not sure what I'm doing here. Why I don't move. I may have taken a sip of water, which I like to do when recording stuff, you know, for the voice box, so it doesn't get all dry. and the lack of menu design thought kind of comes back to that point I made about some puzzles not being well designed. But we made it here. We got all those little cubes. It's not too hard, not too easy. It's just right. It's not really a puzzle. It's more of a, well, there's some platforming, but all in all, you know, it's just walking around. But you can hear that the music is really nice, so I don't mind actually just walking around for, what was that, about 10 minutes now in this level. It's alright. So here we come to the next area. A single door frame brings up to an island with burger eyes. They reminded me of burgers the first time I saw them. I didn't say it, I think, in the original recording because I couldn't quite put my finger on what it was that reminded me of burgers, but it's the eyes. I can tell you now, it's the eyes. Then here we have this, it's gonna be a labyrinth type deal with these drones in it. And you can see instinctively, I know not to touch it. And I know that I can hide in these nooks and crannies. This is, again, well designed. It's sad that it's not all the time, but, you know, you figure it out quite fast, and then I don't know why I hesitated so much. But when you touch it, you get sent back to the nearest checkpoint, which is... The checkpoints are quite fair in this, I have to say. I will have some trouble later on figuring out what to do. But the checkpoints are fair, I think. Here. You never have to do more than a couple of... Well, maybe not even a couple of minutes, actually. You see, it's all fine and dandy. You have a button. It shows the hand, meaning, hey, press here. I'm a button. Another good design. Alright, then it opens up the stairs to the downstairs, to the cellar with the teddy bear. And if I can see that right on the little preview screen that I have for this voiceover, that was teddy number 9? Maybe. Here, you know, test out the waters. How far does this drone go? Alright. Check that the controls aren't too floaty. You don't want to make any mistakes here. I got one of these cards that I don't really understand what they do. And then here I figure out how they move again, figure out their pattern. You know, as a seasoned gamer, oh, and it touched me. You understand that it's important to figure out the movement patterns of the opponents. And here that thing starts moving once you press the button, and I just got into its range, which was, well. Now there, I was a bit overeager. But I learned that you can also get caught by the back of things. And then here I learned that you can't wait for it to corner, because you'll get swept up from behind. I took it close to the corners to have minimal walking distance and made it through. Here I introduced some new stuff, some doors. and I try to not get hit as I walk around, and what do you know? Door opens. This door doesn't. What gives? Well, it gives you some nice hiding spaces, these doors. So I think in here is, well, the button probably opens other doors that didn't open before, and indeed that is what it does. So you walk around, open the doors. Still not open. I got that already. Means one last button to push, and it's this one. A nice cutscene shows us what happens. The door at the end opens. Open sesame. And this was, I don't know, really bad. I don't know how that happened. I mean, I could clearly see the thing coming. Here, I almost did it again. I guess I was lacking a bit focus. It was, I think it was late night. Yeah, it was late night gaming. I qualify, I think after 10 is late night gaming. And this was late night gaming. It's probably my fault for starting so late on a puzzle game. But I was out with the family having some dinner. We were, my family meaning sister, parents and me, we were invited by my uncle and his wife to go for dinner because of some tax stuff my mom did for them. My mom's a person who deals with the taxes. I don't know what the job description is actually in English, but you know what? I have a phone on me and I don't need my hands because well, I've played this before, so I can just look it up. Alright. I mean, walking down the corridor doesn't need much commentary, right? Right. Let's see here. Trusty fiduciary. Yeah, that's it. I heard that before. That's what my mom does. She's got them smarts. I'm telling you. She got those numbers all figured out. And here is a point where what I think is not the worst design, but not the best, clashes with my inability to understand what's happening. I figure out that I have to move, but then I'm stuck, and these guys just, they are closing in. So I get really frustrated and I think I'm actually stuck at this point. So I'm gonna cut the video here, maybe even a bit earlier than I did during the live recording, and be back with you once I got the solution figured out. Okay, here we are at the place where the drones start up. And what I figured out is this white thing actually has some significance. See, I can jump on it. Now what I thought originally is that the white thing was a stair that was gonna go down, like it did before when we got to the teddy. But actually it's a jumping pad, and it leads over here, and I don't know why exactly I died previously, but I thought better not touch him, and then I made it through in one go. It was neat. The music suddenly cuts out and comes back in with a different sound. And here we have some story. I I tried figuring out what this means in the live thing as best as I could, and what I ended up doing is describing the picture that you can see, and I don't need to do that for you. You can very clearly see the image in front of you, and you can probably do a much better job of interpreting what's happening here than I ever could. If you do know what the frack is going on here, let me know, please. I would be interested. These are super cool drawings that I have no clue what's happening in. And now we are going to the next world.